Hello, everyone. I'm Graham Ablett, and I am thrilled to introduce to you some of the newest members of the SP team, the SP family. John, could we get to know you a little bit better by maybe just posing you a little bit of a question, if I may? Now, look, you've got lots of experience in bidding, right? But also you've been involved in product management quite heavily in the past as well. So I'm kind of interested in that, and maybe where those similarities are. I'm always fascinated if people can bring kind of other suggestions and ideas from different markets or different jobs in the past. So are there similarities between product management and proposal management that we could pinch and use and people would be interested in?
Absolutely. I'd be surprised if we didn't find many players in our space who had experience either in product management or marketing. For sure. And the similarities between product management and proposal management are striking, if you ask me. Especially when you look at them through the human interaction lens. So we lose sight of that sometimes. We get deep into the paperwork of an RFP and the bids are, the technicalities are deep. But the human interaction is similar. You need good teamwork. You need that on the product side, product management side, and you need that on the proposal management side. I made my bones in business coming up in technology and project management and then product management. And of course, part of the function of product management is to oversee the bid process and to make sure that the work that we're winning and we're bidding on is recognized in our roadmaps and our delivery systems, right? So that has to go end to end. That type of teamwork requires understanding requirements. So in product, you're building product requirements. So I've spent thousands of hours talking to customers about their business requirements. The same exact principle applies to proposals. You're really applying the same discipline. You're understanding, okay, there's a need here. We have to understand what the need is explicitly, and then we have to have a solution that meets that need expressly. And we have to look at it also, is our solution better than the competition's? What differentiates it? What gives us the why us, right? So there's all of these things. So I find that product management, there are many parts to product management that are on the delivery side that don't exactly relate, but in the upfront portion, when you're trying to understand a problem and you're really looking at a market problem, the same exact thing exists for the proposal. The proposal is trying to solve fundamentally a market problem, and the two require human teamwork, and you have to really understand, again, going back to motivation, the people that are going to score your bid, they're human beings and they have expectations, they have requirements. You have to understand them. So having those conversations, understanding the requirements, understanding the motivations, they're very similar. Product management, proposal management, very similar.
Yeah, one of our you sparked a thought there. One of our colleagues talked about, when we talk about the three C's of a proposal strategy: the customer, your capabilities, and the competition. Regina, she was breaking down competition into understanding, like you're saying, that kind of deep understanding of the organization, what's behind them as an organization, what their drivers are, what their motivations are. Then next down the opportunity or the project, what's driving that, why they're doing it now, getting that understanding. Then you've got the people aspect beneath that, as you talked about, who's driving it, why. And then maybe even underneath that, you've got maybe the customers.
That's right.
You've got exactly all these multiple layers, and getting that understanding is so important. So right, I can see that as a strong and kind of similarity.
And the last thing, and I didn't want to forget this, maybe the most important thing is the element of storytelling. So storytelling is just so critical and vital. If I'm launching a new product, I need a story that's going to excite the end user. I need to solve their problem. I need to solve their market problem, and I need to deliver something that excites them. Part of that is cultivating a story that talks to them. It is exactly the same in proposal management. You have to be a good storyteller. You have to bring those traits to the table. So I find that very similar.
Fantastic. Yeah, I want to ask you another question, but I want to see if Kerry and Brent have got anything to add to that. Brent, what do you think?
I mean, John's right, and when I think about it in that light, I guess we are producing a highly specialized product, a one-off product with a targeted purpose to get the win.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It is a product we're creating already. Yeah, 100%. Harry?
Yeah, I just want to share an example. So John was talking about interviewing users there. So I'll share an example. So I was leading, this is going back a few years, I was leading a technology consulting proposal. The end client was a government department for health insurance, and it was for a tech implementation for a health insurance system. And as part of the proposal process, pre-RFP, we used a third-party research company to interview users of the current tool and the service. And then actually, as well as taking the stats from that and using them as proof points in the proposal, we almost developed the personas within that, user personas, using that anonymized feedback, and put kind of call-out boxes throughout the proposal from those personas. And it was just a more powerful way of articulating the pain points they were experiencing on the current tool and the service, and then what the tangible benefits might be for the new tool and the service to specific user segments.
Yeah, no, I love that. I've seen those personas used really powerfully by different organizations, because of course we all know, like John was saying, we should ideally specifically know, be speaking directly to the users or in bidding with the customer, but often there's, I don't know what the latest stats are, 6, 7, 8 people or more who are involved in making the decision. Good luck, honestly, trying to meet all of those people and understand them and why they're doing what they're doing. So sometimes you might need those personas to give you at least some guidance if you don't know or don't have the time maybe to specifically get in front of some of these people. So using personas can sometimes be really, really, really powerful input into a bid process, and maybe help fill some of the gaps on what maybe some of the drivers and motivators of individuals might be. So no, cool. That's a really good example.
I just want to add, Carrie, that's spot on. We used personas. I trained my entire team back in the day in pragmatic marketing, pragmatic product management, and it's really the understanding of personas. Understanding how to build personas so that you don't have to log every individual user. And pragmatic product management understands market problems, and are people willing to pay to have those market problems solved, most importantly? And then, is your business capable of solving those market problems? These are all product management disciplines that are directly applicable to proposal management.
And it helps us remember that we are dealing with people and humans and their emotions, and you can try to force people into numbers and charts, and but really it's somebody with real life problems that are making these decisions. So it's a good way to approach it.
Yeah, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Right? There's that going on all the way through all of this. So no, brilliant.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Okay, John, I just wrote down something earlier that I just wanted to ask you, because you talked about reliance on team, the importance of and reliance on teamwork.
Absolutely.
There, have you got any tips really on how you make sure that the communication works between teams and helps collaboration? Off the top of your head that...
Oh, for sure. I had to do this quite a bit in my career. And at one point, I was responsible for 13 development teams' work and provided the roadmap for them. And I ran the product specialists who were pointing those teams and bringing the customer, needs to those teams. And clear communication and a structure that allows a safe place to communicate is something that's missed far too often. Right. So I used to use the term all the time, or the phrase, many hands make light work. And I borrowed that. But it's truer to say many coordinated hands make light work. Right. And so it's really having a framework for communication that you've spent some time understanding. You can't just throw a blog out there and say, 100 people collaborate on this blog. It will become unproductive very quickly. So you need mindfulness about how your players are going to communicate, and providing them that space that is easy, accessible, and user-friendly. That's the type of thing that you really need to build, whether it's a one-off project and you're all coming together as a virtual Tiger team to solve a problem. Build that communication framework, understand how you will communicate. Or if it's an overarching organizational structure that you need mindfulness in how those communication structures will be put in place. Don't take it lightly. Get it right.
Yeah, I think then internally on a bid team, we don't always think about what's the communication strategy on the bid, right? You've got your core team members, you've got your wider team members, you've got management, you've got people who are going to be reviewing approvals. That dynamic's going to be changing on each and every bid, and probably if you think of it like that, you might just change your kind of your strategy for communication on the bid based on that. And we've all been on the ones where it hasn't quite worked, and you thought, I wish I'd done that differently beforehand.